Alrighty, guys, welcome back for our fourth match of the evening. Again, it's going to be Renegades versus Team AGG. We just finished up with the knife round. AGG won that, and they're going to start off on the terrorist side. Now, granted, Renegades last night put on a clinic on Cobblestone against one of the better North American Cobblestone teams in Optic Gaming, so I kind of expect this to, again, be a little bit on the one-sided side in favor of Renegades, but we'll see if AGG can bring anything to the table. Bach, let's talk about it.
I mean, if only AGG could just use knives the whole time. If this was a knife battle, I mean, they've been really good. I think they survived with 3 players in both knife rounds, but when it's come down to the guns, they've struggled. They did get off to a great start on Inferno, putting a few maps on the board on their CT side, but they kind of struggled from that point on. Once Renegades picks up steam, they are hard to stop. Not quite the Virtus plow, but maybe the Australian plow of some kind. We'll figure out a more punny name. But it is going to be aggression in mid right now as Renegades just pushes through the A site and they walk right into AGG, who is waiting for them. So it's come down to 2 players right now, Yam and Sponge. And Yam's going to catch one and drop, but it's going to be an A execution right now with Sponge on long. He might be able to spot him as they try and get across into the site, but he's playing this very passively, waiting for his teammate to get into position.
He's actually playing that really smart, but it's going to be Invert to come around the side, and he's got the raid boss by. So not much that they're going to be able to do. AGG picks up a pistol round, and that's going to be another good one on the board for them to start this off. And remember, they won the pistol round in the first half of the last matchup on Inferno.
Yeah, part of the reason why they were able to get so many rounds on their CT side is they chained the pistol into, I think it was, what, 4? Yeah, they won the first 4 rounds after picking up the pistol. They did win that first buy round, but they're going to get to start again here with the buy, with an AK on Ruru, Galil on Twists, a Scout on Invert, then MAC-10s for Ocean and Elsa. A very diverse buy, but it's going to be pistol armor from Renegade, so a very formidable buy coming in from the CT side. And they are stacked up towards the B site right now with 4 players in that position. They're going to crossfire on drop with Yam in window and Azur towards the door. Back on plat, right in front of the broken wall is going to be Ustillo. And he's just holding a flash right now in case they try to go in towards drop. Azur and Yam just waiting for that potential opportunity to pounce.
Yeah, and that's the big thing right now. They're going to drop on down through the drop room. It's going to be Ruru and Ocean. Ruru's going to find Yam hiding by the window, so that's going to be an early fray going out here for the AGG side. And still waiting for more to come on out. And it's going to be a little bit of a change of pace here. Still gets aggressive by the broken wall. Finds one, but he gets traded immediately. And now it's Sponge behind here. That shoulder peek going to be too strong. But JKS and Azur answered back. And now it's going to be an AK in the hands of Azur. He's bringing it down to a 1v1. And he wins it. Nicely done. And Renegades steal away a pistol round win.
That's the danger of buying a Scout in your first buy round. So you get up close with the CZ or 5.7 and you have a Scout. Even if you hit the first shot, it's really hard to recover from that. So you're relying on your teammates to be in a good position. But at that point, he had already lost so many teammates. So Invert's in that 1v1 with a Scout against an AK. It's an easy round for Renegades to pick up. They did wonderful work on the B site. The B stack definitely effective here for Renegades. But it looks like it's going to be another B play here for AGG as they collect up in B tunnels right now. They have a multitude of pistol armor players. Tech9 on 3, Deagle on Invert. But a good smoke from the CT side blocks off drop. Twist is going to have to flash his way through that. Ruru joining him, and it's just a matter of time before AGG goes for the execution on B.
Yeah, this is looking like they're going to walk right into the grinder right here. I mean, they've got the AK of Azur over here by drop. The smoke comes out towards long. He's going to bide his time, play a little bit more of a passive angle. Sponge comes over to support as well. Molly gets thrown out, so they're going to bide their time even longer here on the terrorist side of AGG, but they smoke off down through drop, flash on through, and now it's going to be Azur to have a field day with this push. He's going to look for the first one, but there's no re-peek. Twist, though, nice shoulder peeking, does manage to pick up another one, but he's going to go down immediately afterwards. They're playing Protect the AK, and they do just that. Ruru comes around the corner, though. He gets the AK, picks it up, but he's not able to pull it out in time, and it's all down to Ocean in 1v3. He's down to 8 HP, and he goes down to Sponge. So 2-1 now for Renegades.
An interesting little game developed there towards drop room as both teams really wanted that AK. So the T-side players are trying to get into position. It's like a 1-for-1 back and forth. Every time someone grabs the AK, they immediately die. But it doesn't matter. Renegades ends up surviving with it, and the round victory goes their way. So it will be AGG back to pistols here. Still no bomb plant from them on these round losses, so coming out a little bit weaker in these rounds. They've got just pistols this time around, hoping to buy up in the next one. Even still, it should be a little bit light based on where their money's sitting right now.
A little bit of molly damage there onto Stilo. Again, it's going to be a save round here for the AGG side. They're just going to be working towards mid, what it looks like, and they might feed some kills to JKS, who's got that MP9. This is going to be kind of a lethal area for him to be in. Good flashbang, holds him back a little while longer. There's support at long. A little bit of a shoulder peek. Sponge is going to spot him out, drops the molly. The molly goes out in mid. So good use of the utility here on the Renegades side to hold all of these players back from encroaching on their position. They've even pulled a rotation of Azur over, and he's going to take the long-range peek, and Ruru just playing with the doors right now, but now it looks like they're going to gear up and work towards the B bomb site. That is where the bomb is right now, and that's in the hands of Ocean.
And he's just sitting towards the B site right now. Yam waiting in position in drop room. He's only got a CZ. He's trying to save up to pick up the AWP, so he didn't really want to put too much into this round. A little light on what he can do with this gun. Obviously, that reload time could come back to bite him in the butt. He's got a molly, though, and he's getting ready to toss that incendiary towards the broken wall. Actually, a flash right behind Ustilla, but Ustilla gets blinded by it, too. Finally chimes in with some shots of his own. Yam tapping away towards the player who came out of drop. But it's actually going to be Elsa and Ruru who do a boatload of damage to the CT side of Renegades. They only survive with 2 players up, but they still have plenty of money on their side, so they're going to be able to buy up here, but that round definitely cost Renegades way more than I would have expected, considering the round prior was a force-up, and they weren't able to do as much damage. That round, just pure P250s, and sometimes, for whatever reason, just the pistol buy works a little bit better than the force.
Yeah, and that's actually a pretty big round for them. Knocking 3 players down. Now, granted, it was all SMGs, I believe, that they got down. They did lose the AK. That is one of the things to note. They lost the AK out of that last round, so they end up having a lot of rebuys going into this round. Actually, they pick up a whole arsenal this time around, with the exception of, I believe it was Sponge, who survived with the M4 last round. 3-1 the scoreline. No up for Invert going into this round, but he seemed to be doing a lot better with just the rifles in the last match, so we'll see whether or not that continues. It's a 4-1 play here from the CT side. That smoke is going to be a little bit off the mark, but it's going to buy them just enough time. L's playing right behind the doors here in mid, peeking out onto the danger stairs, and JKS not ready to relinquish his position just yet.
This is such a risky position for JKS as one of his teammates goes down in the B site. That's Yam. He goes over towards drop with Ruru just picking with the AK, but JKS is so vulnerable in that spot, and finally he makes it out of mid. Elsa just backs off long enough to let JKS down the danger stairs, and it looks like they're looking for him right now as they send a few players down the stairs after him in mid, leaving only one over towards long. That would be Twists. And the only man on the B site, the lurk player, Ruru, going towards Broken Wall, gets gunned down by Azur. But here we go. It looks like they want to head towards the A site right now as they stack up towards long. Sponge is going to spot him with the jump peek off the balcony. JKS playing back behind the APC. He's going to get up on Broken Wall and get in sight. And now they have one more rotating in towards balcony. The entire CT side is rotated into position except for one. Ustilla still looking for the potential flank player in B. Invert with a great trade there as they get into the CT, or into the site. But another one goes their way. Twists now picking up both frags, and it's that man who was on the long lurk pushing through B. Ustilla left to try and salvage the round for Renegades.
Yeah, but he's so fast along A. They're not going to expect him to be here just yet, so he's going to put himself into a good position. Ocean playing over by Cannon. I don't know if they actually heard him pick that up at long. They might have. He's got a Molotov. If he throws it to the back of the site, that's going to burn Twist. There's no way he's going to get out of that in time. There's the molly, and he actually did manage to hop up on top of the wall, but he exposes himself. And now it's going to be Ocean on this off angle. Oh, and he gets spotted, but he can't adjust the aim in time. Ocean going to clutch it out, and it's going to be 3-2 now.
Ocean with the big clutch there for AGG, but really, it was Twists who got both players to get them onto that A site and get the bomb down. And a lot of patience exercised by AGG there. They had control of long very early in the round, but they waited and waited and waited and waited, allowed the player on B to make some noise. Tick got a player, I think it was Ruru, who got one in drop in Yam, and then he tried to make his way out towards Broken Wall, but he kept the CT site glued on B for so long. I thought for sure the way that Renegades had rotated back into A as quickly as they did, they'd be able to stop it, but it really came down to Twist just having a lightning take. Ocean gets one, but Sponge is going to get a 1-dig onto the jumping invert who is peeking up from stairs towards long. So a good trade there for Renegades as they are on the pistol round here, with AGG trying to put some money in the bank with these rifles spraying down the players on B. It's going to be Ruru yet again in the position over towards the B site, and they are going to be able to get the bomb down in just a second here as only Sponge is in position.
Not anymore. Ruru's going to find 3 kills in that B bomb site, open things up here for Team AGG. The only one remaining is going to be Azur, who's over here below the drop window, just waiting for anybody to push on up here, and he's actually going to get an opportunity as Ruru doesn't clear his angles. Twist is going to be there to clean him up. No gun salvage. 3-3 tied up now. AGG trying to mount a little bit of a decent half here on their terrorist side.
Now, in your opinion, I've seen this map played and I've seen it go both ways. Yeah, I figured you would say the same as me. T-sided, so really AGG needs to come out with 8.
On a top Pro League level, it's T-sided. On an NA level, it's whatever.
Roll of the dice.
It's roll of the dice.
It changes every day.
It does. I mean, we saw big CT side halves on this yesterday. Could be completely flipped the other way this time around. AGG actually played Energy on this yesterday and didn't look too bad when they were on their CT side. Couldn't really get it done on the T side. So, I mean, it's NACS. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's just basically, let's just, like, see what happens. There really isn't a way to predict sometimes the action. A molly towards long right now is going to push JKS back. It was a little bit off. It looked like they were throwing that towards the haystack just in case he was in that position, but a smoke dropped just under his feet will delay the T side from getting up any further. Still just kind of flirting with the idea of taking control with long. That's Ocean, who tosses a nade through that smoke. Not really on point for the way that JKS had retreated. They're going to boost one up on towards the top of Broken Wall as Sponge trying to get up there. Finally does. But it looks like the T side is all but retreated out of the A site and is headed back towards B, where they've got Yam still boosted up on Broken Wall with the AWP, and he should be able to punish the T side as they make their way out. Gets the first one, but a great refrag from Twist, who has been on fire for AGG. Meanwhile, Ocean picks off one over towards the A site, but it's all on Ustillo here in B. He's got to get at least 2, and he only gets 1 as they come out of Broken and drop at the same time, and AGG is going to get the bomb down. Post plant now goes to Renegades.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little bit difficult here. The flank comes around and inverts having none of that. Dex Azur takes him down. Nothing doing in this round. The flashbang comes out around the corner, but Ruru, he's not going to be blinded nearly enough. JKS falls, and AGG are going to be able to establish their lead again. So 4-3. Nice take onto the B-bomb site. Nice lurk from Ocean also at A, able to clean up 1. And this is the Ruru that we saw last night. 13-3-5.
He's playing that role towards B really well, so even when it's an A play, he's usually kind of flirting with drop, peeking towards the left side, see if he can spot someone shoulder peeking, and then he works his way towards Broken Wall. The problem is he's done it 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row, so if AGG continues to do this, Renegades could sniff it out and stop playing aggressive on Broken and stop giving them those openers. But if you stop playing aggressive, you kind of put yourself in a position where you allow AGG to get a lot of control of Broken Wall. So you have to play the gamble. You have to decide when and when you can't do it. Right now, though, economic control for AGG. I mean, Renegades is really in a tough spot. They've had to pistol save multiple times now, allowing AGG to just get round after round and build up a little bit of cash, but not quite as much as you would expect. It's only 3 rounds in a row. But you can see with Elsa at 1450 and Ocean at 2150, despite the fact that they've been winning these rounds, they're not going to have as much cash. And that's why Elsa with this MAC 10 is going to be lights out, picking up 2. That's 600 per kill. $1,200 going into his bank account now as the 5v3 commences towards the A site.
Nice shot from Azur. Looking for some more over here by the spammable wall. He's actually going to get denied by that. Invert's going to come around and take him down. Ruru over at B, again making a ruckus. Looking for Yam, who's at the backside of the statue. Smoke goes out. Yam's going to push through this. And he's not going to get anywhere. Runs right into him, takes him down. And again, Ruru, 8 rounds in, he's sitting at 15-5, so he is doing some serious work for Team AGG. Basically, they're sending him out kind of like the style of Fnatic, you know, not really comparing the two teams, but it's just that strat style is what they do with Olafmeister. Just send him out to back plat and B and let him cause mayhem. And that's what Ruru's doing against Renegades right now.
Yeah, you'll see Cloud9 do a similar thing sometimes with Freakazoid or Skadoodle. They'll float both of those players into that position, usually more often that they do Skadoodle so they can use the AWP for entry. But Ruru right now is just having fun. I mean, he's just like kind of playing around on B. The rest of his team's committing towards A, or at least getting control of middle early on and long. And then he has the ability to just kind of like float around and just find one here, one there, consistently isolating players for 1v1 duels, and he's capitalizing on those opportunities. Now, what if AGG's first win of the season comes over Renegades? What if?
And not just Renegades, but Renegades on Cobblestone. That would be ridiculous.
I mean, it's a map that NA in general has kind of suffered on. They haven't really figured out the Cobblestone puzzle so much. I feel like the European teams have a better grasp on the map. A lot of NA teams go for like the fast B play, and that's basically their one-dimensional take. So if they were able to do this, I'd actually be quite surprised.
I mean, we'll have to see. But you know, again, it's going to be AGG setting up a smoke strat over towards the B-bomb site. They've got Yam with the op playing towards Broken Wall. He's got to get himself the hell out of there right now. That Molotov luckily holds him back long enough. Smoke comes out as well. Flashes also, but so much utility being thrown right now. And now they're going to make their way out, and Yam actually misses the shot. Yam goes down without getting a kill. Ustillo trying to be stalwart over top on top of that rectangle, but he's going to go down. It's a 2-for-2 trade. And now Rubru makes his presence known over by Drop. He's going to try to get the backstab on Azur. He can't make it happen. It's down to a 2v2, but Azur is so low. But they rip.
Oh my god. From bad to worse.
Insult to injury on that one. That sucks. I mean, that's just miserable right there. 6 rounds in a row, or 5 rounds in a row now for AGG, so Renegades are going to take a timeout. That's miserable. Low HP goes for the peek onto the bomb carrier. All he needed to do was let JKS take that fight, or JKS just needed to let Azur take the fight, but they both peek at the same time. They line up, and they end up losing the round because of the TK. That might have, I mean, 1v2, much more manageable. Plus, JKS's position was given up by killing the bomb planner. That sucks.
That's brutal. I mean, you know, look at the way that the money has stacked up because of it. Not only because of the loss of money from the TK, but like now AGG is really starting to pile cash up, and Renegades is in boom or bust territory. Do they buy here? Do they force up? I guarantee you that's the discussion right now, is whether or not they force on this. It would be ill-advised based on the way that AGG is looking in this round. I mean, you can see AKs with full equipment and AWP on invert as well. And they haven't really been able to stop Ruru, so there's no sense in putting this heavy investment into the round just to watch the bodies drop on B like it's been happening. I'd like to see them go for maybe a pistol armor stack towards B and just try and hope that AGG walks into it, or pistol stack on A, push mid, something different, mix something up, because you're not really going to get too much going with defaults with pistols. You got to kind of mix things up, go for a gamble. And AGG, you know, they found 6 rounds, but it's not the end of the world for Renegades yet.
No, it absolutely isn't. And one of the big things, too, is you got to remember in the second round, I mean, Team AGG won the pistol round, and then the eco came out from Energy, or pardon me, RNG. So many teams that have the same names, essentially. But RNG, Renegades, they picked up that second round off of the back of the pistol work, the pistol armor buy. So, you know, maybe normalize the money. You've got 4K on Ustillo, you've got 3K and 3,200 on Yam and JKS. I know Yam wants to get the AWP again, but he's kind of been non-effective with it so far in this matchup. So maybe upgrade some pistols. You can put some armor onto Ustillo. He does pick up some nades, but they need to do a better job holding over at the B-bomb site. But this is an opportunity now for AGG to go, screw it. Let's go fast towards the A-bomb site, because we know that we've got them broken at this point. So maybe a fast strat towards A is going to be the counter to the counter.
You know, if Enemy kept their sponsor, there was a potential opportunity where we could see AGG, Energy, RNG, and Enemy, or AGG, Energy, CLG. Like, there's so many 3-letter
please
acronym
stop.
teams. If they all made it in, could you imagine a playoff bracket with all those teams? It would be so confusing.
Oh, God.
But, yeah.
You'd have to call them by their full name the whole time.
Yeah, you would. I would have to, like, unabbreviate. I'd be doing Counter Logic Gaming, Renegades, all of that. But yeah. I kind of agree. They have put Renegades into a position where they're going to be anticipating potentially B, but AGG has actually gone A, at least put some presence there early in the round. And I like that, because a lot of teams, they tend to shy away from A. It's kind of like Mirage. A lot of teams will go A on Mirage, but they don't really go towards B as often. So I like that AGG is using the full map rather than kind of locking themselves into the stereotypical B take, you know, the split drop broken wall push that you see a lot of teams do. And I think that's a large part of why they have been successful so far. The question is whether or not they can sustain the style of play from Ruru, who's at 16-6 right now, the lurk player on B, who's been punishing Renegades every round, making the rotates in for the take on A that much more difficult.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. I mean, this just shows you the options that you actually have on this map on the terrorist side. I mean, Ruru just exploiting that drop zone and that B plat round in and round out. And the thing about it is Renegades, they don't really know how to handle this. And it looks like they're going to go with what you said. They're going to go with a fast push towards long A. They're going to stack it over here, but this is going to be really scary for Ustillo. Nades and mollies to the back plat. All 5 terrorists lined up to take this.
He's just looking like he wants to just time this right. He's got a flash. He wants to peek this so bad, but he knows that he's in like do or damned if I do, damned if I don't territory. P250 close on broken wall. Now he's got a bit of a crack through the edge of the smoke. He's gonna spot them as they cross. Does decent damage to 2 players. Ruru and Ocean get lit up. Takes a little bit of molly damage, making his way behind the rectangle. But the bomb site's surrendered here. Full control for AGG. Only one man in the site. Still Ustilo trying to prevent the plant, but it's going to be quite difficult here.
Yeah, Coops, Elsa, gonna find him over there. And now the op. Invert gonna be able to find the first. He's actually peeking out a little bit in the open, but he's got a teammate behind him. Invert gonna miss the second shot. Gonna hit the third, though. Azur gets on the board, finds one. And he's gonna pay for that immediately afterwards. And now it's Sponge from the double doors. And maybe a spam kill here. Ocean, come on, lay down some spam, big boy. No? Don't want to do it? Come on. Alright, fine.
Not going to happen today. It's just Sponge. 15
Quality
HP.
voice crack there,
Yeah,
by the way,
you like
man.
that? 10 out of 10 voice crack. It's the beauty of casting for several hours in a row and running out of water. Speaking of running out of water, what is that, Sponge?
Wow.
Hello. The CZ75 all the way down broken. Elsa goes down. A lot of damage dealt to AGG there, despite the fact that they pick up the round. They've now found 7. So Renegade's actually feeling pretty good about the fact that they were able to take that many guns out of their hands, especially now that they're moving into the buy. It's their opportunity to strike and bring things back. I mean, they could actually force a split here from AGG if they pick up this round, because 3 players would be able to buy, but 2 would not, and I don't think they'd have enough to drop.
Yeah, this is one of those must-win rounds for Renegades. They need to stem the bleeding right here, right now, and it's going to be another beast strat here from AGG, so we'll see what they can do. But again, I mean, they're going to put Yam up on the boost, and they've done this in multiple amount of times. Twist is going to get chipped down, but Ocean's going to capitalize, and he's going to find the offer. So immediately, they've got a man disadvantage on the B bomb site, and look at this. They're going to back the bomb out from B, or at least Ruru's going to watch for the flank for the time being. And where do they go from here? You know, what did the CTs do? Now they got to play 3 dedicated over at B, 1 play and drop 2 in the site, and then that leaves JKS very lonely at A. So if they do decide to bring the bomb back around, which they're not, but I mean, there you go. Sponge can't connect the shots. Ruru through drop finds another kill, and now it's going to be Ustilo and JKS to try to hold on to the B bomb site, and Ustilo's barely even able to get one.
Yeah, he goes down as Invert comes around with the P250. Great shot from Azur, though. Invert drops off the broken wall, not able to put that off to good use. All remaining players here for AGG are so heavily lit, and JKS is going to punish them as they come out of drop. A big round for Renegades, finally stopping the bleeding, but at what cost? All 4 players around JKS go down. It cost them a lot of money in that round.
That was super sloppy from AGG. I mean, they just went one at a time, 1 by 1. Not really sure why they decided sending 3 through drop was the smartest idea. Not really something that you see all that often. Usually it's maybe 2 at drop, maybe 4 going long and 1 at drop, but this time around they send 3 down through drop and they end up coming out 1 at a time, and they can't trade that kill onto JKS, so he's able to capitalize. And now look at this fast strat from Ruru. He's already out B plat. Oh, this is terrifying. This is so scary. Azur's boosted up. I think he knows that he's up there too. Oh, he got long so fast.
Did Ustilo hear him, though? I mean, Ustilo's in position. Now he's going to hear the shot, so Azur's going to be able to at least call out the spot, but this is Ruru doing what he's done the entirety of this game. Just punishing on Broken Wall. And Renegades has really had no solution. A great molly is going to flush Ustilo out. He takes the duel with Ruru and wins, but ends up dying a post-mortem death, or a post-mortem kill for Ruru, the molly doing good work. Ocean very low on HP, and he's only got a deagle, so this is still winnable for Renegades here, as it's a 3v4 with the AWP, AK, and M4 on the CT side.
Yeah, and this is actually going to be really scary. They're boosting Els up on top, too. He's going to come around the side. Nice shot from Sponge. He almost gets a second onto Invert, and it's down to a 2 versus 3. Flashbang comes out around the corner, and Yam actually just eats that and goes down without any kind of a reply whatsoever. So now it's down to JKS, the hero of the last round. It's another 3v1, 2 lit players. Flashbang out over the top. He's not going to be able to do anything from that position. Oh, man, and Ocean's moving into a better angle right now. He's still worried about that player behind him. Gets the shot on 1. Gets a second one. Now he's got Ocean on the flank. Oh, goodness gracious. No time left for the defuse, unfortunately. But he does manage to take all 3 of them down. So nicely done from JKS. That's 6 kills in 2 rounds. But unfortunately, it's not going to get him the round win. And now look at their money.
Yeah, I mean, they're so broke after picking up 1 to lose 1 like that. I mean, it's huge that he's able to survive with the AWP, but the truth is, look at Yam's kill count right now, 4 and 12. Not exactly the performance we would expect from a man who dropped 40 kills against Selfless on Train. To be fair, Cbble, sometimes the AWP feels a little bit clunky. With the speed you can use to get onto B site so quick, Yam can't really get into a proper position. He often has to play the fountain. This round he decides to go towards mid, and he's going to get an aggressive peek on invert. So a good start for Renegades, catching them off guard, putting themselves in a 4v5, and that's exactly what they need. Oh, a double for Sponge as they make their way into drop the CZ75. Worth its weight in gold here, and it's just Ocean and Twist with 1 minute and 25 seconds left trying to figure out how this round got to this point. JKS cleaning up the last two as well. A lightning fast round from Renegades, and it all started with the op pick from Yam. And we were just saying how he's been struggling, but that was the key to the round, really, was starting the round off strong with that op.
I mean, he missed a couple more shots there at the end, but luckily JKS was coming down through the danger stairs to find that last kill, so they manage it anyway. And again, I mean, don't underestimate the power of that CZ75. Sponge coming up huge for his team in that round, and just like that, they reset the money on AGG's side. And they're just going to barrel to drop. Oh, no! Oh, my goodness. Twist dropped on Azur's head, and he couldn't readjust. And now they're going to get the guns and boost back up through drop. Maybe.
A little bit uncoordinated. As Ocean's like, let me help, guys. And he was actually blocking his team here. They're trying to get out of this position, but they're eating nades in the process. They are going to get a Galil and an M4 out, hopefully. Still struggling. It's taken about 20 seconds just to get 2 players boosted up. It is a tricky boost. There's that little lip on the concrete as you try to boost up. But it should be a little bit faster than that for AGG. They leave just Ocean in here with very low HP, but the rest of the team has rotated out. And Renegades kind of knows that this is possible at this point because they've not seen any action towards the B site just yet. And with only one being spotted and dropped, now they know. So it's all on Yam to try and shut this down over on A.
Yeah, Steeler's already pushing through the B-bomb site. He's only got the scout into this round, but with those 2 rifles being picked up now for the terrorist side, they've read the situation properly on the CTs. It's going to be JKS playing over here. They're going to hear the footsteps, but Ruru's already out. He's going to be able to pick up that kill, though. JKS finds one invert in the site. He's going to get found by the broken wall at A, and that is going to be in 6th round now for Renegades. If they can close out this half 8-7, they're going to be in a good spot going into the next round, next half.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be feeling a lot better considering how this was playing out for the better portion of the half. I mean, if they can close it out 8-7, that's a pretty good half. I mean, it's somewhat standard scoreline considering it is a T-sided map. Stereotypically, I mean, if you see pro teams play, it should be T-sided, but like we said, it's always a gamble in North America. You never know what somebody's going to do. And AGG has actually played the map quite well. I'm pleasantly surprised with how they've commanded map control, not just committing or over-committing to one site. And it's really been Renegades who have suffered round and round again to the likes of Ruru, who is now sitting at 21-11, successfully shutting down B multiple times, just making his way out broken wall early on and catching Renegades off guard, sometimes taking a 2-for-1 or even a 3-for-1, leaving them constantly scrambling for retakes.
A nice opening, though. Ellis is going to go down the op presence here in mid. Very nicely done, but they're going to push very aggressively on long, and that's JKS. He does get the smoke off for the flashbang, and that's going to hold him back. And now he's going to take a duel with Twist and hits the headshot. Drops him down. Now Ocean following. Going to go down. Invert. Does hit the scout shot, but now it's a 2-on-4. And he goes down immediately afterwards to Sponge. So Ruru going to be your last man standing, last round of the half, trying to at least make it a 9-6 for the terrorist side of AGG as they move on to the CT side. But at this point, it looks like it's going to be 8-7. And moving forward into the pistol round, this is actually going to be a pretty important pistol round going into the next half to see who's going to be able to pick up that momentum early on in the half.
And it's been showing that Renegades is heavily momentum-based, but at the same point in time, so is AGG. I mean, they picked up multiple rounds in a row, and they really started to show some confidence there throughout that first half. But it does end up coming to an 8-7 scoreline, somewhat typical. Renegades now desperately wanting to pick up that pistol round. After struggling early on, they need to cement their T side with a big start. And if they do, I think it might be really difficult for AGG to stop. Once Renegades starts getting that ball rolling, they are just an absolute momentum crusher. They will just destroy AGG. It'll be a steamroller as they just plow through Renegades, or AGG for that matter.
Yeah, that's the biggest part about this. I mean, all the momentum right now is in the favor of Renegades after picking up the last couple of rounds there on their CT side. Bringing it back close, 8-7. And all it takes is a pistol round for this one to get blown wide open. So we'll see if AGG is going to be able to capitalize on a pistol round victory here. Remember, they won the CT side pistol on Inferno. They won the T side pistol here, but it's been 2-1 trades of pistols throughout this series so far. So if history serves, Renegades should be able to pick up this pistol round, but again, it's going to be a matter of time to figure that out, and it looks like it's just going to be a heavy strat towards the B-bomb site, something not necessarily out of the norm. And there you go, Ruru going to get a little bit aggressive, and he's going to get decked immediately to the floor. That's a good nade, though.
Good shooting from Twist to get one. Now gets a second. Goes down to Ustillo. JKS trying to get towards White Rock. Takes a bit of damage, but eventually his teammates come up with the frags, and it's just Invert here left on the retake. He doesn't have a kit. He does have armor USP at long range. It can be so deadly, but he's got one so close, and that Glock is going to be absolutely punishing. As Renegades picks up the pistol round they desperately needed, because AGG was starting to feel pretty confident about how they played throughout that first half, and now it's Renegades' time to shine here over on the T side of the T favored map. And they're going to be going into the bye with split SMGs and a scout on Yam, but we saw how this backfired for AGG. They had the scout, I believe it was on Invert, and it did not work well when they faced off against the Force Buy from Renegades, so we'll see if the same thing happens to Renegades here.
Yeah, a matter of time to decide that. Invert taking a little nade damage over there by drop zone, so he's going to fall on back. Joins his comrades Twist and Ocean over there in the back of that B-bomb site. Ocean just watching this off angle over by drop. Not going to really get tested too heavily into this round, and I like what the terrorists side are doing. They're kind of just moving into a default strategy right now, and that's the smart idea, is don't really give up too terribly much in this round. Make them work for it. And, you know, the Molotov comes out into the drop zone. Ocean's going to be pushed back a little bit here. But Renegades, they're just playing this slow. They don't even have the bomb on their backs right now. They're just holding at the top of drop, waiting for a mistake to be made here from the terrorist side, or from the CT side of AGG. And you can see, I mean, they're pushed forward on drop. So the only spot that they haven't been able to clear is directly below them, which, I mean, takes 1 second to clear, and then they can go back to holding the angles that they're on. And Ocean actually takes a peek there, so that's a little bit risky. He's going to take a wider peek now, too. So, interesting decision to see how they're going to play this round out on the terrorist side.
Renegades is just playing so slow. They want to spot exactly what AGG is doing, and I think it was Ustillo who was on Broken Wall with the P90. He spotted one behind the fountain. Great shot from Twist, though, who's still in that position behind the statue. The 1D onto Ustillo is going to reward him with a P90 for his trouble, but it looks like the bomb is going to be heading towards the A site, where they've already got two stacked up. Invert with the Deagle in the back of sight, not able to do anything. Neither is Ruru. Pushing through the smoke is Ocean, and it's actually going to be a shot from Yam on that scout. It's just Twists, who in the last map was consistently outperforming the rest of his team, but struggling a little bit here. It's been Ruru who's been picking up the slack. Twist at 9 and 14 with a Deagle in hand. He's got 1 kill on the round. But with 4 T-side players up here, it's really not worth going, and he does have armor, so he's just going to save back towards the B site.
It's interestingly enough, JKS up until like 6 or 7 rounds ago, maybe even less than that, I think he only had like 6 or 7 kills, and now he's 20 and 9. Off of those 2 3Ks that he had, and then one more following after that was all said and done. Unfortunately, Twist can't line it up. Yam's going to be able to take him down, so another round on the board here for the Renegades, 9 to 8. Another full save here for AGG. The Force Buy doesn't work, so they're going to have to go back to the drawing board here, but things can really start to get carried out of hand now, as Renegades should be able to pick up a 10th round, and they're going to go in with a pretty good economy into that first full gun round.
Yeah, Azur and Ustillo trying to boost their money a little bit more with these SMGs. Azur with the MAC-10 and Ustillo with the MP7. They still got one lurking over towards the A site, trying to see who that is. I believe that's Yam with the scout. No, it's actually JKS with the Galil. They already dropped one in towards drop room. That's AZR. Azur just doing work here. 2 SMG kills on the round as Ocean and Elsa Mama go down. Ruru does pick up that MAC-10, but good luck in armorless MAC-10. Quite difficult to work with. Good pistol work from Twists yet again, though, who is lighting it up on the CT side. He picks off one trying to come around from Broken Wall. Ruru spamming away with the MAC-10, not able to get anything. Sponge gets a kill on Ruru, but Invert responds. A lot of back and forth, but this is definitely benefiting AGG right now, as they have taken multiple guns out of the hands of Renegades.
Yeah, they actually have 2 rifles to work. They have an SMG to work with. The 2 rifles still in the hands of Renegades, but they've got the scout on Invert, which is actually a nice find, and they're going to make their way over towards the A-bomb site, which is exactly where the terrorists side are going. They've got Sponge on 10 HP, 39 for Twist. The HP pulls on both sides, pretty similar. And it's going to be a matter of, can AGG steal this one away from Renegades? They've got the opportunity right now. They've got the HP. They've got decent enough rifles to work with. I mean, the scout, JKS, if he peeks out right now, he could go down. And that's going to be extremely painful for Sponge to try to hold on to.
They're playing this perfectly. Just patience, just waiting, knowing that AGG likely doesn't have a kit. They're going to have to walk into it. He hears the drop from the balcony, and JKS spamming through the smoke, catches Twist as well. Perfect timing there as Renegades scrapes out a round victory. But in the end, AGG feeling pretty good about that one because they've helped to chip away the money that had been building on Renegade's side. And now if AGG is able to win this, it should be an eco coming in from Renegades. There's only really one player would be able to buy. That would be JKS. So the damage has been dealt, and AGG could potentially put themselves in the driver's seat with a victory right here.
Honestly, I don't think Renegades is too beat up about that last round. Granted, they lost 2 SMGs and they lost a scout.
Yeah.
They were able to hold the rifles into the next round on JKS and Sponge, who are actually still using those Galils, which is why they still have a decent amount of money. But for the most part, I mean, the other ones, they not really going to be too beat up about losing an MP7, a MAC-10, and a scout going into a full gun round. So probably not reeling too bad from that one. This time around, it's going to be a little bit of spam back and forth in mid. JKS down at 97, so 1 bullet through that adamantium wall in mid, and Ruru gets chipped down to 86, so a little bit of an exchange there in the beginning of the round in mid. But for the most part, it's still evened up, and no real early aggression from either side. You don't really see, there's no push on long A from the CT side. And Renegades, they haven't even picked up the bomb. They're still just harassing over here towards the drop zone. And now Az is going to take a peek at it. He actually gets blinded and falls back.
Yeah, Azure dropping a flash around the corner, and it looks like AGG is going to smoke off drop, so even if he gets into that position, he really has no function in the round. They've made their presence known over towards A, or at least it would appear. Elsa playing very close in mid, with Sponge right around the corner. Looks like Sponge is probably going to want a flash of some sorts, but they only have one on the entire side left, and that's on Ustillo. Elsa's going to peek a little bit wide here, manages to gun down Azure, but a trade out as Sponge uses the Galil to open things up here, but the CT side is already rotating into position. Good shooting again on the Galil from JKS, but an immediate response by Ruru. The trade's going back and forth yet again, a ping-pong round. Ustillo picks off one, then Yam goes down. Another kill for AGG from Ocean, but he's dropped as well. It's just a back and forth, and it's a slugfest at this point. Renegades pick up the round, but I've used this analogy before. It's like you watch UFC and you see all the technicality and the grappling, and there's a lot of technique involved, and then you watch a heavyweight boxing match, and there's 2 big muscular guys just pounding the crap out of each other, and that's how this half is played out right now. It's just both teams are just trying to like beat each other into submission.
That was a little bit of a shame there at the end of that round that Twist went for the peak on the top of the APC, because there was only 2 seconds left in the round. So
yeah, I didn't even notice, actually.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscue right there. Nice peek from Ruru in mid, though. Destroys JKS. Doesn't even take a point of damage from that. But Azure, wow, okay, all right.
Ruru's been on fire.
Yeah, he's having none of it right now. Nicely done from him. He's looking for more, too, but finally Game's going to be able to shut him down. Finally gets rid of that nuisance. I mean, he's been a nail in their side the entire time.
I mean, Elsa right here actually could be a really key player, picking up the AK and coming in on the long flank, but the long flank is taking too long. Sometimes a mistake made, just delaying for too long, and now you can see Renegades up too far for him to really make too much of an impact. Might be able to catch the bomb out, but a great shot actually catches out the support player. Still is going to take the duel, and it does come down to just Ocean here. And we've seen this before. Ocean with a Deagle and a 1v2. Can he clutch it out? Last time, I believe it was on the first map, he was unable to do so. Coming around the smoke from the back of APC, and Aim Punch takes over. Renegades now putting themselves up multiple rounds over AGG. It's 12-8.
So far, so good. Flawless on their terrorist side, or the Renegades. They've won 5 in a row now. Looking to extend their lead. They're going to get another opportunity here if they can reset the money on the AGG side once again. You can see the 4 M4s and the AWP out on the board. This is the first time, really, we've seen Invert with an AWP. Throughout the entirety of this matchup, really. He didn't really have one in the first half at all. So we'll see if they can capitalize going forward right now. But, I mean, Yam, he's going to be playing over by Long A, and Invert's going to be by the Broken Wall. So op-on-op battle's not really going to happen this time around.
Looks like Invert is going to go for the boost up here, trying to get behind the box on Broken Wall as the smoke fades towards the back of B platform. He's waiting for that smoke to fade so he can spot some players towards the back end as they exit out of B. Ustillo and Sponge both in position, and there you go. The first kill goes Invert's way. Now he's going to flash and try and peek again, but the Molly's going to be close to him. He's got to move out of position. Gets another one on the peek. Now he's got JKS around the corner who's been doing so well for Renegades, and he is able to take down the op. Invert just a little bit flash, couldn't quite get over the broken wall, but it is a 3v4 favoring AGG with about 50 seconds left, and Renegades looking like they want to take the B site.
Yeah, I mean, Twist, he's got one right around the corner. He's going to hold down Mouse 1, finds that kill. JKS so low, but he's going to take the fight with Yam, looking for the last one, and Twist just has a field day at B. 2 kills for Invert. It's the full house. Twist picks up 3. And now Twist starting to come alive a little bit here in the second half. I mean, his pistol work has been exemplary, but the main part is AGG finally get around on the board, and with that, the money is super low here on the terror side of Renegades. So you can see an op getting picked up by Yam and AK for JKS and Ustilo, but Tech 9s for Azure and Sponge. So tough spot for him to be in right now on the Renegade side, and again, it looks like they're going to go quickly over towards the B-bomb site.
And then Yam is sitting on the glass cannon as well, so a few shots into his body might make it a little bit hard to hit the shot he needs with the AWP. He's going to try and boost up onto the box at the end.
Look at Ruru
potentially
already.
Peek over the smoke. But yeah, look at Ruru coming in on the hard flank. Ustilo is waiting, but it doesn't even matter. Ruru has been so brutal the entirety of this second map. He wasn't really there in map 1 so much, but in map 2 he's been lights out on Cbble. Currently top fracking 27 and 17, outpacing JKS, who's over on Renegades at 24 and 12. He's been a serious nuisance, a big problem for Renegades.
Yeah, and the thing is like there's no counter to what they're doing right now. I mean, it's just the aggression that's coming from Ruru. He was such a pain in the ass in the first half, playing so aggressive over by Broken Wall, playing aggressive by Plat. And this time he's able to get that kill, fall all the way back into A. And look at how much time it's taking Renegades to clear out all these angles. You know, because they have no idea. Did he push into T-spawn? Is he flanking around the backside of T-spawn? Is he coming from the porta potty side? Or is he over by the Dragon Lore painting? Or is he falling all the way back into the A-bomb site? What is he doing right now? And you can see now they're very timid. They actually went all the way to mid to check and see what was over there. And now it's just going to be this brawl into the B-bomb site again. And Ruru's already over here now. He's creeping all the way down.
They haven't even cleared the man on boost who has been punishing them right now. I believe that was Twists up there. He does get 2, one with the M4 and another with the USP. Yam, the only one left alive over towards Broken Wall, drops out right in front of Rectangle. And they were running low on time at that point. I mean, you can see there was like 9 seconds left by the time that Yam dies. Renegades playing this very slow, almost to a fault. And really, it's been Ruru who's been forcing them into that position. Like you had said, they can't necessarily do anything too crazy because they're afraid that Ruru is right around the corner waiting for them.
Yeah, and that's really the biggest part about that is like they had to worry about him for so long in that round, and now this double up and Ruru again gonna open up with the entry frag, finds Sponge, takes him down, actually gets a little bit of a damage out onto Azure, but he gets caught out in the open and taken down, so they're gonna be able to get up towards this A-bomb site without this rotation being too terribly on point. JKS gets knocked down pretty low. The fast flank from Els is gonna be able to net him a kill. Twist is there. Els finds another. And now all of a sudden it's down to Azure, who went all the way around back to Danger, and there's going to be like a million people in his face. So he goes down to Ocean. 11 to 12 now. AGG making a bid for it.
I think I figured out why this map is so close. It's the Coriolis effect.
They're bending bullets.
That's a reference to the Coriolis effect, where when you flush a toilet and it goes the opposite way in Australia. That was my attempt at making a really stupid joke about 2 different regions and toilets. Either way, it's been AGG who have kind of surprised both of us, but it's been one player in particular, Ruru, who's been making a huge impact, and now it seems like the rest are starting to step up as Twist has really picked up his game, and this time it's going to be Ocean as he goes for the mow-down, hoedown with the M4 outside of drop, invert with the op. And now it is a 12-12 tie score as AGG are keeping it close at least. I mean, at least they're staying on pace with Renegades.
Yeah, they've actually forced a save out of the Renegades camp now, so it's going to be pistols bought up for them. That fast strat towards B gets completely annihilated by Papa Odig. Ruru's sitting on 30 kills now. Granted, we're 24 rounds into this matchup, so there's still 6 rounds left to be played if we go the full distance. Or 5 more rounds. 6 including this one, but Ruru this time around going to get dinked at the top side of mid. We'll see whether or not they can recover from this, but again, just a really tough spot for the Renegades to be in because now they're the ones that are on the back foot.
Now, Renegades is consistently having to save here. They just aren't able to get any traction on their T side. They were able to pick up the first 5, but AGG has clawed right back into it. It's a repeat of the first half. Except this time around, it's AGG who struggled early, and then started picking up the pace on their CT side. And Renegades really hasn't been able to find any kind of opening, even when they had a potential opportunity, like that play, the eco a few rounds ago, with Ruru peeking in mid, gets the op shot initially, and then dies right after. They couldn't capitalize on the fact that they had already pushed up mid, had an op in their hands because the CT side had rotated in so quickly. So really hats off to AGG right now, and successfully preventing bomb plants in all 4 of the rounds they've picked up.
Yeah, now it's going to be a fast push out on long A. Ruru caught a little bit out of position. Els is going to have to hold this off. Ruru's not going to be able to get anything, and TK comes out. Sponge takes down his teammate. JKS able to... Oh, okay, all right. Finds 2 1-digs. They are going to be able to get the bomb planted. This is a nice find for him, but look at where he's planting. He's actually planting back by cannons, and they didn't push in yet, so they didn't see that. Nustilo picked up that AK. He's going to be able to find one, spots out Twist, and takes him down. So Renegades, they snap right back. They find that frag in towards that A bomb site, and they pounce on it immediately. Now Yam's got the op that they salvaged. They've got the AK in the hands of Azure, and the rest of them are going to be able to buy up behind this. So really nice round from Renegades.
Yeah, I mean, they got the bomb down and they win the round on an eco. So they got to be thrilled. They would be thrilled alone just getting the bomb plant, but they win the round, take the lead back, and they are able to build up a lot of money because of it. So now, like you said, they have the op on Yam. The question is, where are they going to put it into use? They haven't really found much use for it on their T side as of yet. Yam, really, entirely, he's been struggling throughout this whole map. He hasn't really been able to hit that hot streak like he had in previous matchups. He does have the op outside long. Sponge getting aggressive right through the smoke, and who else but other than Ruru to be on the other side of it waiting for him. So Ruru, again, starting things off, now 31 kills. He's already cracked 30, and he's looking to pile more on top.
Yeah, I mean, he's having an extraordinary match right now. And again, swings the man advantage into their favor. They go for the quick boost onto the rectangle over in the B-bomb site, but now it's going to be a push down in towards mid. And again, they're going to take a fight with Ruru, and he's just playing insane right now. And there's the peek. He's going to spot him down there at the bottom side of mid and fall on back. So he's going to be able to call for backup from his teammates. Molotov goes out to long, so that's going to hold Yem back. That AWP is going to be a non-factor for a little while longer. And now they're going to make the push up towards the top side of mid. Els gets found out by cannons, but Ruru's still alive back here. He's flashed out, standing, trying to make it happen, and he gets a headshot onto Ustila with the pistol. Now he's working back around. JKS in the site doesn't realize, what the hell? Ruru just ran all the way around the site. Doesn't even get spotted. Azure finally takes him down, and it's Big Daddy Ocean in a 1v2 again to try to clutch this one out, and he's going to get up on the site. Azure trying to get the bomb down, does get the AK out in time, and he picks up a 3K of his own. What a wild round. 14-12 though, Renegades.
Whoa, I don't think I was talking there, was I?
No, you weren't.
Ah, there we go. My keyboard stopped working, so that would make perfect sense. Yeah, fun stuff. If Ocean makes that jump on the Broken Wall, the first jump, then all of a sudden that round becomes manageable by AGG. It's a 1v1 post plant because the bomb would still go down. Azure would still have planted, but he would have died before he could switch to his AK and get the shot on Ocean. Then it's just a matter of Ocean playing the duel with, I believe it was Yam, who was last left with the op towards the plywood. It's still a really tough round for AGG. And you can see, I would imagine this is their pause coming in here, as they're in a weird spot with their money. Elsa's at 9K, and they can potentially kind of juggle some guns around and get a buy of sorts out of this. But it would basically be buying for the game at this point, because Renegades would be at 15 if they lost this, and AGG would be broke. So this is boom or bust territory for AGG. They know that they need to win this round, or Renegades is likely closing things out 16-12.
Yeah, so golden opportunity here for Team AGG to get themselves back into this one. Now, the money on the terrorist side isn't all that exemplary either. Even if they lose this round, I expect Renegades to buy behind it. I mean, 6250 on Yam right now, 4500 on Azure, and they've got the full nade sets to work with. So I would kind of be surprised if they didn't go for a buy, even if they lose this round. They want to get this matchup over with. But again, I mean, they've been changing the pace up in different areas of attack. Ruru has got to be feeling it right now because he's dropping 32 kills. The closest on his team is 18 behind him in invert. So, I mean, he's got 14 more kills than the next person behind him. So that's a little bit painful. And this is the second night in a row that we've seen Ruru step up in a big way for his team. And, you know, there's really been no response from anybody else on the team. Sure, we saw Ocean get a 3K spray down, but where's that been the rest of the matchup? Invert here and there. He's gotten a couple of kills. Twist has had a couple of nice rounds, but I mean, Ruru is the sole reason that AGG is even in this matchup right now.
And AGG has flirted with victory multiple times this season. Like we said, prior to tonight, they'd only won or lost one match by more than 6 rounds. It's 16-10, 16-11, 16-11, 16-11, 16-12. I mean, they're consistently making it close. They just can't manage to win a match. And they're in position again this map, but they just couldn't pull it off. I mean, they could still bring it back, sure, but they have their backs against the wall, and with that start from Yam, it's going to be even harder. That's the op-down as Invert was peeking towards long. It's isolated Elsa Mama in mid. Meanwhile, on the lurk, we've got AZR. Azar just playing a waiting game right now towards B, hoping that Ruru will push through, and why wouldn't he? Ruru has consistently been that aggressive player, constantly coming from behind for AGG. But another kill for Renegades as they make their way out towards the A site. Molly's about to rain in towards the back. And it's about to be post-plant here as there's only 2 players in the back of site trying to prevent the bomb plant.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get right in. Twist is going to take a peek, but Ustilo denies that. One more in the back of the site. That's going to be behind the APC. That's Ocean looking for anything that he can find, but he's only got a UMP. Does peek out and finds JKS, so he brings it back to a 2-on-2, but now he's gotten into the site. And what does he do from here? Pardon me, it was a 3-on-2. He hops up top, Yam punishes, and now Ruru at 20 HP does find Azure, but it's going to be nearly an impossible clutch situation as Yam goes all the way back around to long A. And as soon as he crosses, this should be GG. And unfortunately, he's just going to run away and try to hold on to the gun for the next round because the economy now for AGG is in dire straits.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a choice. So they can't go for this. They have to try to fight for overtime, but with what? They're going to get 2,400 from the round, so they'll have a little bit of money to work with, but not much. Ruru is really going to be the only one with a rifle. He can drop the AK, buy a FAMAS for somebody else in the team, and put something out there, but it's still going to be really difficult here. I mean, this is like a kitchen sink buy for AGG. A split up of SMGs, pistols, and rifles, and it's all on the table here for AGG as Renegades looks poised to take this one 16-12. It all comes down to this.
Really would have liked to see AGG get a little bit more out of that last round to keep their hopes alive, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. AWP from Yam doing work here in the last couple of rounds. Really, really nice stuff from him. They're going to boost up here. Try to peer up over top of that smoke for anybody that's playing cheeky in the back of that B plat, but nobody's going to be over in that area. And again, Ruru flirting with it over here at this B bomb site. Just playing a little bit exposed. He does have that AK that he salvaged from last round, but he's playing this off angle behind by the drop. And Twist is going to take first contact, so hopefully he can distract and Ruru can swing out and try to find a couple of kills because he's playing an anti-flash angle. You can see he's actually got his nose in the wall right now, trying to play so that if there is flashbangs thrown out, he's going to be able to dodge those and then spin around and try to find some of these kills and help Twist as best as he possibly can. But they actually molly him out of position, and he goes down to 28 HP. He still finds Yam. That's all he's going to get out of the round. And now Twist in this forward position on Rectangle, going to be looking for any extra info, but now the smokes go out, and with 40 seconds left on the clock, Renegades have to rethink their strategy into this round.
Yeah, Renegades is actually playing this very timid, knowing what they know. They know that the money on AGG should not be so good because they've won 3 rounds in a row, and they've been buying every single time. But even still, they just don't want to give up anything too easily. They did lose a 1-for-1, but they're going to spot a man in the back of site as they change the plan and go towards the A site. Invert and Elsa both drop. It's just Twists and Ocean on the retake here. They do have a kit, but no utility, nothing to work with, no way to get into the site except just dry peeking with an ump and a FAMAS. And it's 4 AKs on the opposite end, locking things down. Now it's just Ocean here as he jumps out of the balcony with the UMP in hand. And unfortunately for him, it is another round, and the one that closes things out for Renegades 16-12.
Yeah, really tough spot for him to be in right there. 2 losses, 2 more losses. They're 0-10 on the season. Renegades extend up to 8-1 on the season, or pardon me, 8-2 on the season. And looking pretty good now. Renegades moved themselves into number 2 in Pro League. Number 1 is currently Optic. Number 3 is Luminosity, but that's just because they haven't played as many matches as some of these other teams have. So again, we've got another matchup coming up after this. It's going to be Selfless versus Cloud9. The 2 maps for that are going to be Train and Cash. So going to be an interesting matchup to see Selfless, now Kustaless, playing on Train without that big op presence that they've had in the past. So it'll be an interesting matchup. Cash, Cloud9, they beat up on Complexity the other night. So we'll see what they bring to the table. We'll be back in a few minutes with the next matchup, guys. 2 more to go.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.